The Imitation of Christ by Thomas A. Kempis. Book 1, Chapter 19. The Exercises of Good Religious. The lives of good religious should shine in all virtues, so that they may be inwardly what they appear outwardly to others. Indeed, there ought to be much more inside them than appears outwardly, for we are seen by God, to whom we are bound to give highest reverence wherever we may be, and to whose sight we are to walk in purity, as do the angels. We should renew our purpose daily, and we should stir up ourselves to fresh enthusiasm, as though this were the first day of our conversion. And we should say, "Help me, Lord Jesus, so that I may persevere in my good purpose and in your holy service to my life's end. Grant that I may now, this very day, begin perfectly, for what I have done in the past is as nothing. According to our purpose, so will be our spiritual advancement, and much diligence is necessary for one who would make much progress. If even one with a firm purpose fails often, what will one do who only seldom or weakly ever resolves anything? Yet, in various ways we forsake our purpose, and even a slight omission of our spiritual exercises brings loss to our souls. The resolve of righteous persons does not depend on their own wisdom, but on God's grace, on which they always rely for whatever they undertake. For we propose, but God disposes, and our way is not in ourselves. If an accustomed exercise is sometimes omitted either for some act of piety or to help our brother or sister, it may easily be recovered again later on. But if, out of weariness or carelessness, we lightly omit it, it is reprehensible indeed, and will be hurtful to our souls. Even doing the best we can, we will still all too easily fail in many things. Yet we must always have a steady resolution, especially against those sins that hinder us most. We must diligently inquire into and set in order both our outward and inward life, because both are important to our growth in godliness. If you cannot continually enter into religious contemplation, do it sometimes, at least twice a day, morning and night. In the morning, fix your good resolves, and at night examine yourself as to how you have done. How have you acted in word, deed, and thought? For in these you may have often offended both God and your neighbor. Prepare for valiant action against the vile assaults of the devil. Curb your appetite, and you will be better able to subdue all the unruly passions of the flesh. Never be entirely idle, but either be reading, writing, praying, or meditating, or doing something for the common good. As for bodily exercises, they must be used with discretion, but they are not to be practiced by all persons alike. Those devotions that do not belong to the entire community should not be done openly, for private devotions are most safely practiced in secret. Nevertheless, you must be careful not to neglect the public devotions in favor of private ones. But having done fully and faithfully all that is required of you, if you still have any spare time, then in privacy give yourself to devotion as you feel inclined. Everyone cannot use the same kind of spiritual exercise, but one is more useful for this person, another for that. Different exercises are also suited to varying circumstances. Some are better on work days, others on holy days. We need one kind in the time of temptation, and others in times of peace and quietness. Some better suit us when we are pensive, others when we are joyful in the Lord. About the time of the great festivals, good exercises should be renewed, and the prayers of the saints more fervently sought. We ought to make our resolutions from one feast to another, as though we were then to depart from this world and come to the eternal feast in heaven. We ought carefully to prepare ourselves at holy seasons to live more devoutly, and to keep stricter watch on all things that we are to observe, as though we were shortly to receive the reward of our labors from God's own hand. If our reward is deferred, Let us assume that we are not sufficiently prepared and are yet unworthy of that great glory that will be revealed in us in due time, and let us endeavor to prepare ourselves better for our departure. Blessed is that slave, says St. Luke, whom his master will find at work when he arrives. Truly I tell you, he will put that one in charge of all his possessions. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to receive new updates weekly, and share with someone you love. Remember to fully rely on God.